What did I say last night?
Besides quoting Hemingway.
No, I didn't.
So, what happens at the end of After Everything? Do Hardin and Tessa end up together? And will this affect the potential for a sixth movie? The last film ends with Hardin showing some personal growth, but he still uses manipulation to try to win Tessa back, which kind of throws his progress into question. There's still a lot that needs fixing, especially his manipulation. So here's everything we know about how a sixth movie could tackle that and what the story could look like. Let's dive into it. And After Everything, the final movie of the series, a lot of big questions are finally answered, especially about whether Hardin and Tessa end up together. The movie picks up 2 years after their breakup in After Ever Happy. Hardin is struggling, drinking again, and putting off writing his second novel. He spends his time partying and hooking up with women, trying to distract himself from the pain. Things take a turn when Hardin has a meal with his mom and biological father, where they confront him about his drinking and the book he's supposed to write. Hardin lashes out, bringing up their own issues, especially the lies about his paternity. As they continue pushing him to figure out his life, Hardin's mom suggests he take a trip to get some space and perspective. This suggestion sets the stage for the movie's emotional and romantic conclusion. The biggest question in After Everything is whether Hardin and Tessa will get back together. At the end of the movie, Hardin attends Landon and Nora's wedding, hoping to win Tessa back, but knowing she might be seeing someone else. After the ceremony, he finds out the guy Tessa's been posting pictures with isn't actually her boyfriend. During their dance, Hardin apologizes to her for writing his book, which marks a moment of growth for him. Instead of getting defensive, he owns up to his mistakes. But things take a turn later at the reception when Hardin gives a speech, hinting that Tessa is the other half of his soul. This causes Tessa to run out, and when Hardin chases after her to apologize, he admits he was trying to get her attention. This raises a red flag despite his apparent growth. His actions still feel manipulative. He used a child to get her on the dance floor and purposely said things he knew would upset her just to make her react. These actions show that despite some growth, Hardin still has a long way to go in changing his ways. In the bridal room, Hardin and Tessa end up having sex, and afterward, Tessa apologizes for her earlier reaction to his book, explaining she was worried about what others would think. Rather than making her feel guilty, Hardin acknowledges once again that he mishandled things, which shows some growth compared to how he acted in earlier films. They both confess their feelings and agree that they're meant to be together. In a big moment, Hardin kneels and proposes to Tessa, and she says yes. The movie then flashes forward to show Hardin arriving at an apartment where his daughter runs up to hug him. He then shares a tender moment with Tessa, who's pregnant with their second child. This is especially heartwarming given that in After Ever Happy, Tessa learned she had cervical insufficiency, a condition that made it nearly impossible for her to get pregnant. Seeing her as a mother here is a satisfying and uplifting surprise, especially after the tough emotional journey she went through with her health. At the start of After Everything, Hardin is struggling to finish the second book he promised his publishers. It's only after flying to Lisbon and meeting up with Natalie that he finally starts writing. By the time he heads to Landon and Nora's wedding, he has completed Before, a book focused on his life before meeting Tessa, including his betrayal of Natalie. Unlike his first book, Hardin approaches Natalie with a manuscript asking for her permission to publish it before even telling his publisher about it. This shows that Hardin has grown. He realizes the story isn't just his to tell and that it will affect Natalie in a way that it doesn't affect him. This self-awareness marks significant progress for him in the final movie, making him more deserving of forgiveness, though Tessa or Natalie aren't obliged to forgive him. While in Lisbon, Hardin ends up in jail after getting into a fight with Natalie's friend Sebastian, who beats him up for dancing with his girlfriend while drunk. This leads to an important conversation with Hardin's biological dad, Christian, who helps him see that he can't keep falling back on his old patterns of aggression, drinking, and spiraling, especially because of his breakup with Tessa. Christian encourages him to change his view of success, which becomes a major turning point for Hardin, pushing him to appreciate the little things in life. After Everything also introduces Natalie, who has a negative history with Hardin. She's angry at him because of a betrayal from their past. When they were younger, Hardin made a bet to sleep with Natalie and then recorded a sex tape which he later sent to his friend. His friend made the tape go viral, causing Natalie to lose her scholarship and face severe public humiliation, ultimately forcing her to move to Lisbon. Natalie and Hardin's relationship is key because it mirrors Hardin's toxic dynamic with Tessa. Hardin treated Natalie as a means to an end, just like he treated Tessa. While his relationship with Tessa had more emotional depth, he still used her, just like he used Natalie, as material for his book, sharing her vulnerabilities without regard for the consequences. This highlights a troubling pattern of toxicity, selfishness, and disrespect in Hardin's character, stretching back even before his relationship with Tessa. In After Everything, Hardin initially apologizes to Natalie as though simply saying sorry will make everything better. At first, he doesn't truly grasp the full impact of his actions and only feels remorse in a shallow way. Over the course of the movie, though, Hardin starts to understand the depth of his mistakes with Natalie, which helps him realize how much damage he caused to Tessa as well. By the time he's about to leave Lisbon, he finally expresses genuine contrition to Natalie, showing that he's made at least some progress during his stay. Hardin's trip to Lisbon seems like it's about apologizing to Natalie for his past, but his words and actions reveal that he's more focused on clearing his conscience than truly owning up to what he did. This mirrors his behavior from earlier movies where he rarely took time to reflect or show empathy towards others. Throughout the After series, Hardin has often been toxic and manipulative, putting his own needs and desires above everything else. It's only after hitting rock bottom in Lisbon that he starts to understand the need for change. However, while there's a sense of personal growth in After Everything, Hardin still uses manipulative tactics to try to win Tessa back at the end of the movie, casting doubt on how much he's really changed. His progress is at best questionable, and the manipulative behavior that once defined him lingers, complicating his growth and making it clear that he still has a long way to go. In After 6, Hardin's journey toward genuine transformation could be the perfect opportunity to take his character arc to a place of true growth. While his toxic and manipulative tendencies have been a major part of his character throughout the series, the sixth movie could explore the real work he needs to do to turn things around and become the man he claims to want to be. The key to his evolution lies in him fully accepting responsibility for his past actions, not just with Tessa and Natalie, but with everyone he's hurt along the way. To show true growth, Hardin needs to move beyond the shallow apologies and the manipulative gestures he's used in the past to get what he wants. A crucial step in this transformation would be Hardin learning to put others' needs first, prioritizing empathy and open communication over control or guilt-driven actions. He needs to prove that he's capable of selflessness, not only in his relationship with Tessa, but also in how he interacts with his friends and family. This could be a slow process where Hardin faces his demons head-on, seeks therapy, and works on breaking the cycles of behavior that have held him back. As he truly matures, Hardin could become the gentleman he's always hinted at being, showing that redemption isn't about perfection, but about consistent, intentional change. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.